Hello,
Hola.
and thanks for tuning in to the Kingsley Hub podcast, where he talks Apple and his love of the phone. He sometimes brings on different apps.
Interview them. I have so many two-factor apps on my phone. Speaking of different apps, that's like quickly becoming like a most common app. Microsoft Authy, Google, Synology.
So you do sometimes bring on different apps.
Well, I need to bring on some new stuff. This is getting boring. All right, let's get started. 128.
Tell me why.
Ooh, got some singing to start the show, huh?
No. It was the other.
Ain't nothing but a heartache.
Exactly.
Should sing.
Tell
All right.
me why.
Hello,
Ain't
everyone.
nothing but a mistake.
Thanks for tuning in to the musical episode 128 of the Guardian Hub podcast, where we sing and talk about Destiny. We have KingsleyMac and DesRaven. How you guys doing? Thanks for having some little musical introductions there.
I'm sitting over here laughing. I can't help myself. That was good, Des. Much appreciated on that one.
You're welcome.
And as you can tell, we must be doing pretty well.
Speaking of music, Brittney Spears is free, and she's already engaged to someone else. Did you see that in the news?
Whoa. We draw the line at Brittney Spears. No, I'm just kidding. No, I didn't see that, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know why I saw that. And then supposedly the guy, they're already talking about a prenup. So who knows what's going on.
I mean, it is Brittney.
But hey, she's
Yeah.
free. She's not under that, what do they call that her dad had, the conservatorship? Is that what it was?
I have no idea.
No idea the lives and rituals and things of rich people.
So no lifestyles of the rich and famous.
This was a specific thing that was more for people that can't handle their lives. Yes, it has to do, in this case, mostly with money, but I guess the idea is if someone doesn't have mental faculties to run their own life, even though they're over 18, you can have a judge have another adult have conservatorship over you. And so she wasn't able to make any choices of her life, basically, without her dad's passing off, including, of course, all the money stuff and music stuff.
I mean, she was young when she did make it big, so
Yeah,
I mean, I could see that as understandable.
and you can use the argument that she doesn't have great mental faculty to make decisions, but I don't know anything about her, but that's got to be a very rare circumstance that, why a judge would say, okay, that this adult cannot have control over their own life.
Right.
There's one thing making bad decisions that many adults do, but I don't know. I'm glad she's free. Not that I was doing hashtags.
Hashtag Britney's free. Britney's free.
I mean, yeah, the good news is, I guess she's been, because that, now that you explain it, I do know, because I think my wife had a friend who was diagnosed bipolar, and he actually had no impulse control of his spending.
Uh-huh.
So he had an individual basically managing his bank account for him.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That-
Yeah. But in those cases, they do kind of have to prove that she is capable of such again. So
Hmm.
I guess that's good.
Well, and I forget what the deal was, because like obviously I think she had tried to go to court to prove that, but for whatever the main story that we were hearing in the news was like her dad was basically the one holding on to the bigger card, and basically he, I don't know if just because of peer pressure or people in the media or whatever, but he basically just let it go, and so now there's not that anymore. But anyways, this is
Nice.
boring to some people. I was just thinking about music, and I saw
Now,
that.
if you let it into like we actually found out that Brittney Spears played Destiny, that'd have been a good segue. But I don't even think that's accurate.
Google search Brittney Spears Destiny. I doubt this will come up with anything.
Probably not. You're probably going to see the other hub of the net.
Here we go. There's a tweet that says, "No thanks, I choose my own destiny," says Brittney Spears. That was the closest I could find. Anyways, what else is new?
Nothing much other than that. I've been gaming as usual. Haven't
Yes.
played it much anything else other than Destiny. Really, this last week. Kind of
You
wanted to, but
Not much, right? Aren't you behind? I was talking to you before the show.
yeah, I'm a little behind. I mean, we can start getting into that now if you want. What we're doing. I mean, I'm behind on my seasonal challenges.
No, screw that. You haven't
Aegis
even
Scepter. I'm behind on that.
Shattered Realm yet, or the Aegis Scepter quest.
Yep, Shattered Realm. I haven't done any of those secrets this week. I am just behind in general doing all that.
I'm just giving you a hard
But
time.
I mean, that's okay. I mean, we got. Last weekend. No. Yeah, this past weekend. What we did trials. No, I did trials. A lot of it. Ended up getting enough Crucible in to actually reset my card once, which is good because you need to reset your card multiple times for these ascend. You have to reset your Valor rank, and you have
There
to
you go.
max it out again to get the skins this season. So you not only have to do it for the Valor and Crucible, you have to do it for Gambit. You also have to do it for the new Vanguard ranking system as well to get the skins.
Whoa. My brain's like, you switched from trials to all of a sudden
Yeah, Crucible.
Crucible.
But yeah, because Trials awards Valor points
Yeah, I got
as
you.
well.
And that's why you got your ascendancy through the.
Yep, I actually got it through Crucible, and I didn't even start off doing it. I think I started off mainly doing Gambit. But other than that, we did that long 3-hour-long raid practice for the event that we got coming up this weekend. We're recording, of course, on Thursday, but yeah, I know we're going to be doing that on Saturday night. But I do plan on catching up on the Ascendant challenges and everything in the Shattered Realm and Aegis Scepter. Hopefully tonight.
Yeah. Are you, Des? Have you gotten ascendancy yet? Ascendancy? That's how you say it, right?
Oh yeah, I got that during Iron Banner.
So also the Crucible. Okay.
I
Funny
mean,
enough, I think my
it was Banner. Yeah, it was Banner and double Crucible and bunch Banner, and yeah,
gotcha.
I even got the ornament
Oh, wow,
during
nice.
Banner.
Nice.
So yeah,
Well, funny enough, I feel like I might be further on Crucible also than I haven't done many strikes this
me
season.
either.
And then Gambit would probably be second if I looked. I don't remember, but I bet if I looked, Crucible would be in the lead for me also.
Which is kind of
That's
sad
a
because
shocker.
this week is apparently what I was wondering about, and increased Vanguard rank gains.
Oh,
I
Now
think
that's currently going
something-
on, or next week?
something. I don't know. Probably current next. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't even bother looking at those screens when they pop up. I ended up just clicking through them.
Exactly. I think that's what happened this Tuesday. I just remember seeing the Vanguard symbol Tuesday, so I'm assuming that's what happened. I mean, it could just be double Nightfall drops. I don't know. Something to do with Vanguard, though. That's all I know.
Something to do with Vanguard. But let's check trials. I mean, obviously, there's probably lots to talk about there. I even hopped in a little bit. I want to hear. I think Des, you even have some thoughts about it.
I have thoughts.
Yeah. So let's talk trials, the revamped trials that most people in the community are now loving.
A lot more flawlesses that I've seen.
Yeah, I'm going to just write quick. Crap. That's not what I'm needing. I'm going to break into these stats in the 12 real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, while you're pulling that up, I can tell you my quick thought on it. So I played a little bit. The first night I jumped in, Friday was actually decent, and I think Kingsley, you put an article in one of the discords. I can't remember if it was ours or Guardian Down. An article that was written about it seemed to have gotten worse the longer in the weekend that we went. I experienced that. I got 3 wins fairly quick the first night I played, and then after that, it was awful. Might have gotten 2 or 3 other wins after that, between running with a team of me and somebody else, a team of 3, solo queuing. I did not have a very good experience the last few days. But other than that, I thought it was fun. I think for the most part, I felt like I did better.
Did you try it on Monday at all?
Not on Monday. I think it was Sunday when I tried it.
Yeah, I'm just curious in case Monday was any different. And we have very small sample sizes, of course, between like people on our Discord and what people are saying online and stuff. But I was just curious if if Monday was like from like friend experience, if anyone noticed anything different.
Oh, I played Monday.
Ooh.
Myself. Which hilariously, because you mentioned it getting worse as the week goes, apparently there's a week by week basis matchmaking, or the skill based part of Trials matchmaking is apparently as you play. So you have no kind of like skill based rating, potentially, let's say all through Friday. But when you hop on like that Saturday, you actually have a skill rating that's modifying who you're matching up against, at least slightly.
It's really interesting. Yeah. So then you think like, is it just because the population was coincidentally higher the first couple of days, or because usually people want the skill base to think like they're getting easier matches.
Well, it all depends. If you're good, skill base is going to screw you. If you're kind of getting carried, skill base is really going to screw you. Yeah. Because if you have if you're an average player and you have like 2 great teammates, and you're going positive in trials matches, and all of a sudden you're not playing with them anymore, your skill based is now above what your actual skill is. Not saying that's what happened to Sin, just example.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, it's not like I personally don't think I did too bad. There was times where I did end up, winning out 2v1s.
Yeah.
And some of that I think is luck. I don't think I'm the greatest, Crucible player of all times, but sometimes I'm able to hold my own. But it's just for the most part, even though I could win some of those, we might win a round or 2. We would still end up losing the entire match because of it. But yeah, I think overall Trials feels pretty good, except for getting my ass kicked.
Right. And you want to talk about high population, like I said, because I know we had somebody, was it like Trials Report or something, that gave out some stats over Twitter over the weekend. Which I know it was somebody, don't remember exactly who, but I think it's some of those people that you actually have to like register into to be affected by the stats. So, but it's hilarious because Bungie released a crap ton of stats about Trials. We apparently had a player population of 750,000 players in Trials over the weekend. which is apparently more than we've seen since the early days of D2. 120 of those were first time ever, or 120,000 of those were first time ever Trials people. And another 470,000 hadn't played recently.
Which would be, I'd be in that camp.
Right? I'm in neither of those camps. I'm in the some 200,000 left.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 237,000 players went flawless, with 105,000 players going flawless for the first time ever.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, Saturday, because on average, 30% of players, or 30% of active players played Trials each day this weekend, topping out at 32% on Saturday, and no day prior had ever gone above 21%.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they each day averaged 30% of the active player pool. That's lets you know something kind of might be working a little bit there.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. Yeah, and again, I played a lot of Trials. I
Yeah.
played a lot of Trials. I think I'm at Mythic 1 in Trials, which is where Mythic is the step before Legend. So,
What if that tells you on the screen? Because that's I'm kind of curious how.
it did while Trials was up, but I don't
Oh,
know if
yeah.
it does just normally.
It doesn't now. No, it's not there.
Okay. Yeah, it will tell you when Trials is up because it will occupy a bubble of its own. But yeah, I hit like Mythic 1, which kind of surprised me. But again, I played Trials every day. Almost. I don't think I played Friday because I had to work Saturday. Saturday, me and Kato were going to Bandit. We loaded into a Trials match and apparently had the problem. And that is, we had no third. Because apparently our third bounced before the match even started. So,
Really?
yeah, that
Not
was our
even
first
after
Trials
like
match.
a loss, huh?
Yeah. Apparently, he was like, "Oh, I'm stuck with a duo. No, I'm out." Because the other team was a 3-stack. So after that, we held off a little bit. We noticed Hazel was playing, and we dragged Hazel along. Even pulled him onto PlayStation, and played
Nice.
a bunch of Trials after. I think we played Trials until like 4 in the morning. East Coast time, that is. Which is freaking holy crap. We played a lot of Trials.
Well, it's
But no,
easy
it
to
was
let
like
the time get away from you too, especially if you're having fun.
right, and just from that first day, just from that Saturday, I mean, it definitely felt different. You could definitely tell the population was up because matching didn't take that long. It's not as normal, because me and Kato have drugged many a third along to try and do the weapon bounty several times as Trials pops up. And it usually feels just absolutely god awful, and just completing that bounty can be like one of the worst experiences ever. But here we are. We started at 11 midnight and went on to like 4. And I personally walked away not regretting it. I mean, yes, there were some super sweaty matches. There were still some awful matches. We had one match of a team of sweet businesses and got utterly annihilated by these guys.
Really? Titan Suite businesses or just
2 hunters and a Titan.
oh wow.
So only one of them. And I actually don't even think the Titan was using Actium War Rig. So yeah, it was just a team of 3 people just chewing us up with sweet business. It worked so good. We had the bright idea. Let's use sweet business. See how this works. Next match, 05. We got slaughtered again, and we're like, nah, let's use actual weapons now. That was the Sweet Business match. Was the only match through that entire night I got salty about, because it shouldn't have worked. It really shouldn't have. But somehow that team they had what it took to make a 3-stack of Sweet Business work. So bravo to them.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And Sin, you're saying you just want to run Warlock with Arc Buddies because you think that's the meta.
Arc Lock, yep. Sitting in a pool using the arms that you consume the grenade to give you the other little Arc Buddy going on. I've actually did pretty well with using that. Not going to lie.
But Well's pretty good too and unexpected. You know, if you're running Solar Warlock, they don't expect Well. They probably think you're running Dawnblade. And the fact that you can get some immunity against stasis and other things, then it's pretty nice. And that's what I saw Lumina. Of course, he does it very well, but that's what I saw Lumina running when they went flawless. I happened to watch Azonis' stream. I think it was Friday or Saturday when they got flawless. Shout out to Mia, Lumina, and Azonis. And yeah, that looked fun when they were doing that. And you're right about more people getting flawless, because I saw more things pop up. Our bot only talks about when someone goes flawless the first time, but I saw a lot more of those pop up this weekend than ever before.
Yeah.
What other weapon things did you? How far? And forgive me if you said Des. How far did you get in a card? Like how many wins?
Oh, well, Saturday we actually got up to 5 wins.
Nice.
Yeah, like I said, I played a bunch of solo Sunday and Monday. Which does kind of lead me to the hilarious story. I think it was Monday night. Because through Sunday, I actually ended up getting a card with 7 wins. But I had to win another one because I was using a card of ferocity. And when you get your 3rd win, it gives you a 4th win. That might be true on the card, but for St. 14's 7-win challenge, it doesn't work that way. So I had to win one more time. But then so just, I guess, word of advice for those that are just grinding, get I believe it's called the Card of Wealth, which you can only get after completing the 7-win challenge. And it gives you like extra reputation when you hit 3, 5, and 7 wins. So, like I said, if you're grinding for rank and such, seems to be a good get. But anyway, so I was able to upgrade to a Card of Wealth. Monday, I was able to hit another 7 wins, mainly going solo. I just played, because again, I was so close to getting Mythic that I decided to go into one more match. And as I loaded in, because it's always advised when you're going solo to check the roster before you load in, so that way you can at least get an idea of what stacks you're going up against. I mean, most of the times for me it was a 3-stack with 3 solos. So then I'd check the other 2 solos and see what they're using and let the Trials intro play through. But no, so I went to check on this match, and sure enough, I get paired with a 2-stack of Xbox players. One of which, by the name of friend of the show, Sharp Valor. And it was the greatest moment I have ever had, like, playing Trials. Because we all load in, we play through the first round. Like, before we load into the first round, I'm trying to find like the Discord I last talked to him in. I find it. We play through the first round.
Hurry and message him.
Exactly. So we get done with the first round. It's like at Sharp Valor. Hi. And yeah, it was fantastic. It was such a good match too. I think we ended up we lost, but it was like a 4-5 match. It was so close.
Nice.
Yeah, it was such a fun match. But yeah, it was fantastic though. So that like just made it glorious. Like the entire Trials experience was basically worth it just for that like one potential moment that somebody I knew I got matched up with coincidentally. So yeah, crossplay is great.
That's solid. I think I ran into. I asked a couple people, if they knew the person, but Joe Rated, he is a Destiny streamer, and I've seen that name pop up once or twice. So I knew who it was when we matched against him, but when we were playing, like nobody knew who it was. But nothing cool like that, Des. I didn't run into anything like running into a friend of the show and getting to play against him.
It was like it was fantastic. I was just glad that I didn't go complete potato. But as now Sharp and Hazel can admit, yes, I do have some aptitude for being very capable in Crucible. But I make one like really cool and awesome play. The very next round, I become a complete potato and do the dumbest thing ever in Trials.
Man,
so yeah,
I wouldn't mind if playing with you if you can hold your own. See, maybe you and I can try to get maybe Soccer or somebody to chirp us for a flawless. We got
I don't know,
two
like,
semi-capable guys and then a really capable guy. I mean, it's possible.
It's possible. I mean, it's I don't know. It's like a really. It's definitely it's potential. It's very potential. But yeah, I don't know.
That's weird. I'm back.
There we
Welcome
go.
back. We kind of felt a little lost there without you. It went silent,
All right.
and then I finally saw the note in the chat. I was like, "Oh wait, that's why you're not chatting." I was like, "Man."
Yeah, I saw Des muting a lot, so I wasn't sure if issues were affecting you all also. But yeah, I couldn't hear anyone. Anyways,
All good. Those long, awkward pauses, nobody ever really gets to see them. I might miss one or two when I edit, but when I skim, I try to
You
look
still
for
do
those
that?
long. Yeah,
Nice.
I don't do it as much. Like I don't take out breaths. Like if I'm going to take out a long pause, I might take out a couple ums here and there, or a couple like breaths or clicks in the track. But for the most part, I let it go, and I do it while I'm doing other stuff. So it's not like I'm like sometimes I'll catch myself like, oh crap, I listened to like 20 minutes of track. Let me just skim through and make sure I didn't miss any long pauses.
Well, a couple other things about the trials. It is really quite amazing that Bungie gave us all these stats. Of course, it's stuff to be proud of. I mean, looking at these numbers, the numbers are like way up there when you look at the bar graph. And it's also impressive that we're even getting more changes right away, more tweaking this upcoming week. And the trials labs too. I mean, this is cool.
Yeah. But I will say though, just I guess to end my overall feel of how Trials feels right now with the matchmaking differences. Because of course population helps tremendously for matching. The real result is going to be how this week feels. And if it's anything similar, then there's a pretty high chance that they've actually found something that works, just for everyone. But as some of the changes go, losses don't matter. They just seem to have made it an acceptable activity to grind for stuff in.
Yeah.
But without the matchmaking and without like the card-based matchmaking, the skill-based to kind of go with it. I mean, I'm sure everyone here who has jumped in Trials before has experienced you're on your first match and you lose and the opposing team is granted access to the lighthouse, which is always the worst feeling in the world. I I didn't get any of that. Like in my time playing, if someone went flawless on me, I was either getting my 6th or 7th win. If someone was granted a bonus win from ferocity, I was getting my 4th or 5th win. I mean, it all lined, like, the cues all lined up with where I was in the card. And it was consistently like that. And that was just an incredible feeling, just in and of itself. Blah, blah,
I'm happy
blah.
for people. Yeah. This is
yeah,
good news for the people that wanted trials to be better. And
yeah. Also the FYI, don't reset your trials card.
For sure.
Like ever. Really. Because if you're looking to grind, one thing the cards themselves tell you that if you win on a 7-win card, you get increased rewards, which include enhancement prisms, stuff like that at the end of the match. But what it doesn't tell you is that you can get extra trials engrams for that.
Yep. And you need those engrams to focus stuff, right? When you're wanting to.
Yes. Focus
Yeah.
stuff that you've already gotten, you can basically turn it in for it.
Yeah.
Well, if you focus it.
You can just pop it, and if I'm just saying, sorry, in an indirect way, if you focus it, you also need an engram.
No, I focused a lot.
Yeah.
I focused all of them because I ended up getting a Reed's Regret from one of the major engrams. I guess one of the powerful or whatever engrams. The engrams for your major rank.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to get a Reed's Regret early, which made me super happy because that's probably the weapon I didn't have that I wanted the most. Still don't have a great roll on it.
But at least you got one.
Yeah, I got one. So it's like I actually have hope to eventually get one. But also, word of warning to those is it takes a lot of glimmer if you're going to keep focusing. A lot, because it's like 20,000 glimmer per focus. So, yeah, just word to the wise there, because I nearly went broke on glimmer which is very rare in Destiny. But
yeah, I'm in that same boat. Very rare, not having 250,000 of it at any given time, or close to it. I think Kingsley lost his mic again.
There we go. Talk about awkward pause.
I know. There's one that we're going to get in post.
Maybe.
Maybe he can't hear. Maybe we can't hear him.
I don't know.
What else did they have in the SWAT while we're waiting on him?
While we're waiting on him, they definitely early upcoming changes, because again, a lot of the top half of the TWAB they do briefly mention an Agriceptor. They of course the show is like it's one of the most pitiful like roadmaps I've ever seen Bungie put out. This thing is like 3 blocks, doesn't tell us much. That's that. But they do give us a bunch of like upcoming changes that are going to be effective this coming trials. So they're already they're already in the works of tweaking things. Crap, what is it?
I know they're eliminating the timer, not the timer, but the matchmaking queue at the bottom right-hand corner.
Well, they're not going to show you who joins.
Right.
So you're not going to be able to tell, because apparently one thing some people were doing, it was a fairly popular, at least on social media, it was a popular tactic, to where if you if you saw evaluating and it jumped up to 6, people would back out of matchmaking to try and, as a 3-stack, to try and get either a bunch of solo queuers or a duo and a solo, just to attempt to make it a little easier. So they're not going to show you who's popping into the matchmaking anymore. So there's that. So you won't be able to tell until after you're in the match exactly what the lineup is.
Which is good. I think you said that 3-stacks were doing that to hopefully get people that were not playing together.
Yeah,
that's a good change.
Indeed, and I'm actually surprised they did that quickly. Like, I almost figured that would be something that would require a little more time to not show us. They also say they're not happy with the people repetitively getting 5-0'd, which, yes, definitely happened to me a lot. Like I said, it was overall a great experience, but yeah, it still happened a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're going to have basically, there's going to be a mechanic to help us on that. What does it say? Enabling some matchmaking help if someone runs into several blowout matches. I don't know what that means because they don't really elaborate, but they do say that the temporary help mechanic will clear up once you start winning again. So there's not going to be like an easy flawless just by getting thrashed multiple times, potentially like resetting a card and then going from there. It's not going to, like, favorable matchmaking won't last that long.
Right.
However that means. Also,
I'm
another
back again, by the way.
There we go.
Lasts.
Oh, he's back.
Right.
And I did try that, Sin. But that didn't fix it. No, it's clearly I don't know if it's the region of Discord I'm in is having issues. That's what I'm guessing. Because my internet's working perfectly fine, and it's not the app. It seems to be something with just the voice region that I'm in.
That's
hopefully
weird.
it'll stay.
So yeah, we're just talking about the upcoming changes. It's fantastic.
Carry on, in case I cut out again.
Talk amongst yourselves for a minute.
Isn't that right? The one change that I'm super glad that they're making very quickly, because I do believe this is coming with this next coming up trials, is they are enabling quitter penalties. So if you bounce out of too many trials matches, they're going to give you a 30-minute timeout. And if you still bounce out of matches, they have some harsher plans.
I guess that's not necessarily a bad thing, but hopefully they can tell the differences between people accidentally disconnecting than purposely disconnecting.
Well,
it says too many, so I would assume it would be like at least 2 or 3 before it gives you the 30-minute timeout.
That, and to be honest, for something like this, they don't really care if it's accidental or intentional, because I think they mentioned when they started doing it for competitive, I do believe they mentioned the fact that they don't want, like, if you have a bad connection and shouldn't be playing, a higher end PvP activity, then this is also kind of there to stop those people, because it's like, you have bad internet, we don't need you lagging around everyone, making everyone else's time awful. Of course, I've been on the bad end, where there was a night I had awful internet and I couldn't play comp because I had a 30-minute ban after, I think it was 2 matches. So it's pretty strict, but it is kind of fair, because again, that night just wasn't my night to play comp.
Discord may give me a 30-minute ban soon.
So that is fantastic, because again, I have an anecdote. I was with a 2-stack now, and we were getting stomped. It was about to be a 5-0 because we were 4-0. So the 2 people I'm with, they come in, they ended up getting downed. I make like this incredible comeback play with my super. Eventually, because I was running Warlock at the time, and of course I was using the tracking Nova Bomb. So I ended up downing 2 people with Manova Bomb, cleaned up the third one, clutched the win, felt amazing. When I loaded up for the next round, I was alone. Because apparently the minute the 2-stack fell, they dipped. So yeah, that was a fantastic feeling.
No,
So yeah,
sucks.
I know, it was awful. I ended up jumping off the map and finishing that one off.
Oh,
Let's see. And next week, the Trials Labs, spoiler alert, is Capture Zone Trials. Yay.
Well, I think it's amazing that they're gung ho on doing labs again. And
Yeah,
for me, being a not super competitive, like vanilla, or not vanilla, but like tried and true game player with Crucible stuff, I like these little gimmicky side things. So I'm going to be hopping in it and seeing what it's like.
oh yeah, I'll definitely see what it's like. It's just, meh. I'm just not super stoked.
Yeah, come to think about it, I don't think I'm going to like it. We already have that. We already have that everywhere else. Trials doesn't really capture zones.
It's kind of Showdown. It's kind of that it's almost kind of like that oh, what was it called? The Trials of the Nine and like comp trials before Survival, where you had to plant the bomb.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of that. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Those just, they've never swung at like just, survival and comp and how trials worked. Elimination, that's what it's called. There we go. It just never has rung with me as well as those two have. And I'm a guy that likes control. I like momentum control. Fun ideas. But I don't think it really sits well with trials. But, who knows? Maybe they're gimmicking it enough to be fun.
maybe.
We'll find out.
At least it's in a test, quote unquote, environment. So
Exactly. So they'll get a bunch of feedback. They'll see who plays. Yeah.
Magical.
Okay. I don't know if I cut out, you guys heard, but I was joking around that Bungie, they gave us that calendar early in the week, and we were kind of joking, like, that's not a calendar.
Right.
In the TWAB, they even say, we released a new calendar, like they're so proud of themselves.
No, right? It's 3 blocks. The only thing that calendar does is confirm to us that Haunted Forest isn't going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Apparently. Spoiler alert, but if you looked at the calendar, Haunted Sectors are going to be the new hotness, whatever that means.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yep. Well, what's legendary weapon quests? That's also something that was kind of like, and it says
Legendary
August through September for that.
More community puzzle events?
Yeah, because that was like
Legendary?
Fellwinter or... Yeah. Yeah, because that's how if you remember in Arrivals, that's how we got Fellwinter, was an entire like quest line.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, potential.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then, but I mean, we're halfway through September, and for legendary weapon quests, it says August through September. So I don't know if that's just a misprint or something that
I don't know.
we're supposed to understand a different way, or maybe it comes next week.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, Ascendancy is a ritual weapon. I believe that's what they're categorizing them as now. So, yeah, it's got to be some quest that's on the cusp of being released.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Anyways, that was funny. Now, another interesting thing, though, is Moments of Triumph, December through February. Wasn't that usually like this time of year or like August or something?
Yeah. I thought it was this time of year.
Yeah. Dawning. So we still have that event. Of course, we don't know anything about it yet. It just says the Dawning.
Which is normally the December event.
Yeah. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if...
Wait, Moments of Triumph?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it's
Here's-
normally like a month or two ago.
I know.
Isn't it? Or am I
There's no
crazy?
way.
Yeah, it was over the summertime the last few years.
Yeah.
You're definitely not crazy in that regards.
No, that's like when
Um,
even a few years ago, the raid stuff, it was Moments of Triumph, and yeah, it was
Yeah,
the time of year.
yeah, because it normally lines up with solstice, sort of.
But I guess it could make sense lining up with the end of the year season before Witch Queen, if they want to have like some big send off or exciting thing.
Well, it's still well. I guess that's the side effect of delaying expansions.
Yeah.
Because Moments of Triumph was like the last thing we got
Yeah,
before something came out, but of course that was in September. So yeah, I guess that's kind of fair.
yeah, that does nuts.
It's gonna be
But that
weird.
way it does make sense.
It will be weird not to have the dawning, like in that time frame.
You don't
Yeah.
want to bake a bunch of cookies, or you
No,
want to
I
bake?
do, but when's? I mean, because when's the dawning gonna happen? The dawning gonna happen in the middle of Moments of Triumph? I almost wouldn't be surprised, but
Probably Dawning will just be December, and then Moments of Triumph would be like first
January,
of
February.
January. Yeah,
Yeah, I could see that.
maybe even mid January because we got all the way through mid February, 22nd ish, closer to the end.
Yeah. Yeah, because dawning is a 3-week activity, usually. So as soon as that's over, leading into moments, which would then lead into Witch Queen. Yeah, but oh crap, but then we're having the 30th anniversary stuff in December too.
Yeah. And that is, remind me, they gave did they give a date? Was it the first of like December 5th or something like that? First part of December?
I don't remember.
I want to say there was a date, but maybe I'm just totally imagining that.
It could be early December though.
Yeah, pretty sure it was something like that. But now we got to look that up, I'm sure. But
Where's our interns? They're not here.
get on that.
But it sounds like we got a lot to. I mean, even though it's going to be a long season, there is still a lot that we got coming ahead
Oh,
before Witch Queen.
Well, yeah.
For
Again,
sure.
we are getting kind of 2 packs this season. We're getting a season and a half at least with the 30th anniversary thing. I mean, heck, we're paying more money for it than even a second season. What was it, 25 or something?
Yeah.
When we were doing the math.
I mean, but then again, it comes with a dungeon and an activity and
and
stuff
and lots of stuff. So, and I'm fine, but I'm just saying, like, so in a way, you could even say maybe 2.5 seasons versus 1.5. But either way, this is like 2 seasons in one, with what we're getting. And boy, the storyline continues to be great. We are on, what is this, week 4?
Week 4
of the main story so far of like a 6 to 7 week arc, which there will undoubtedly be more later on, but we know at least there's like a big arc at the beginning. And this was a repeat because we have kind of a repeat. You know, we have the 3 Shattered Realms, so we went back into the original one this week. But Bungie did an amazing job of, you know, with time gating, unlocking certain things and whatnot. We were able to do more in this week's Shattered Realm, including, they're not called Ascendant challenges. I keep on saying that, but Ascendant something triumphs.
Mysteries.
2 mysteries. Thank you. 2 pretty huge new things in this week's Shattered Realm. Gosh, all this Dreaming City stuff is, I keep wanting to say the wrong thing.
Well, it's just sad because they're using terminology we've been familiar with for like 3 years now and flipping it on its ear for this one season.
The Ascendant Shattered Challenge Realm. Throne, yes. But I was super impressed with going back in here and it being a little bit different. Of course, more mysteries you can get, but just those 2 little extra Ascendant mysteries were great. They had voice lines. There were definitely like mini side quests, you could say, like within this whole mission, where you had to follow stuff or do stuff, and it was fairly obvious once you saw the first thing that would start it. I could see maybe some people missing the blight up high,
Yeah.
but once you catch that and start that, there's a very clear path on what to continue through with it. And then they end
Yeah.
with like a mini boss and, just a whole little thing of, yeah, this is like one of the bigger triumphs of getting done in these areas. So pretty amazing.
Indeed, like, because hilariously, these Ascendant mysteries felt just comparatively huge. Because again, we're used to, activate this barrier, walk 5 steps, chest, mystery.
Yeah.
Or the slightly harder ones, activate this true sight, follow this path,
Go a little further this
chest,
time.
mystery.
Yeah.
So it was actually refreshing to actually kind of get lost sometimes or have to really look. But there's enough like visual cue, like you said, when you actually destroy that first you see that blight and you're like, that
Wait
wasn't
a
there
second.
before.
Yeah, like you might as well, if there's a blight there, you might as well check it out.
Exactly. So I destroy it. All of a sudden, there's a bunch of like huge blights in the sky with things orbiting them, and it's like, oh, something happened. So you investigate, and sure enough, there's a bunch of blights. But I will give advice, much like the lanterns that slyly start glowing to show you the path to the next, whatever it's called, that needs calibrating. Crap, I can't remember now.
The flowers.
Troves or whatever. What they call
God,
like troves or something.
I can't remember either way. But Toland will make an appearance if you're like completely lost, such as the blight event, which leads you to a specific area. Which I was again lost of exactly what to do next, because they tell you, okay, that's the blights. What's making them shouldn't be far. So I look around and I'm going, okay, what's that mean? Where do I go? And I noticed Toland floating around above a well that I definitely investigated the first time I was in that area, but there was like completely blocked off. Well, activating that challenge unblocks the well, you drop down to the bottom, there's the boss. So yeah.
And that was really cool too, because it kind of completes a story of you saying, oh, well, is this just a stupid set piece? They have like this well, but there's a blight there. Did they just do that to be funny? No, it actually will open up.
Right?
The thing.
Because I thought that's exactly what I thought like 3 weeks ago when I hopped
Yeah.
on and I was like, oh, blocked. So
Yeah.
it's just here to be here? All right, fine, whatever. That ends up being accessible. And it's like, oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this Shattered Realm is definitely a really cool, like, because it feels, well, I guess not entirely different, but I guess it's refreshing to get like older mechanics again, because it definitely feels Forsaken, like Dreaming City Ascendant challenges and doing the blind well. I mean, it definitely invokes that feeling and like that, of course, aesthetic, but just the overall feel of activities in that area and what we did years ago are now back, just slightly different. Just like what the Splicer stuff felt very much like Arrivals, which felt very much like Sundial. So I like the newness, the fresh, old stuff being brought forward again. Either way,
it's a really good job. I think Nosy was in our party when I was mentioning this too. This level of stuff that they brought with the Shattered Realm, this is like stuff we were seeing with the Forsaken DLC drop with the Ascendant challenges. Like, sure, we don't have 6, we only have 3, but still, this is an insane amount of stuff that was made for a season versus a DLC.
Yeah, because I mean, if you take, because there were, what, 6 Ascendant challenges, I'm wanting to say?
Yeah, there were.
Because it was like cycling. I mean, you could easily fit all 6 of those like areas just in this new Shattered Realm.
Yeah, because it is large
feel.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's practically massive.
And another interesting thing, yeah, you talk about just looking for cues in the environment. Many of us have been in here for quite a while because we're looking for these mysteries, so we're very used to what it looks like. So we go in this week, and you see the witches flying around up in that area where the statue was. I'm like, that's different. They weren't doing that the
Right.
last time. And what's interesting too, am I wrong? But the way they are flying around is a little bit different than normal. Usually you see like the witches are kind of more vertical, but these ones seem like more horizontal, almost like something from like Super Mario Brothers. Like they're just kind of floating around or something around that statue.
I think it was more so just because of the set piece they were in. So they kind
Okay.
of kept them limited on, like, because if you notice the, what is it, Sabathun song? Like,
Mhm.
the witches that will spawn in after the giant shrieker teleports to the back after you
Mhm.
get to this last health. Like, those definitely also move a little more horizontally than, like, vertically as well. But they're
Okay.
also, like, over bottomless gaps. So
Yeah.
I think it's a coding thing of just where they are to try and
Yeah.
not have them float to their own demise.
But still, it's like definitely it was like, okay, that's something out of the ordinary. Let's go check that out,
And the fact that, again, that's another set piece thing that, was so far out in the distance. There's a statue with a blight over it. Oh, this cool set piece. And now we're going there. So it makes me wonder, like, what all isn't really just a set piece now? What else are we going to open up?
Oh, well, I can't wait. I was perusing Raid Secrets, and I won't say anything, but someone was in the week before one, which will be 2 weeks from now, the Hive one,
Yeah.
underneath where the totems were, and they were in there right during reset, and they saw something change a little bit. And so
Ooh.
it kind of gave some clues of there's some cool things that'll be happening in that one. Of course, all three of them, there's going to be cool things happening. So yeah, I can't wait.
I mean, good Lord, like I said, there's 22 like triumphs for mysteries in each section. So yeah, that's going to be pretty massive.
Yep. And we can get all of them this week in this week's one, except for the data caches. That's something that we still need to unlock. We can't get that until it looks like next week on the seasonal upgrade thing.
Okay.
So that'll be interesting because then we'll have to come back. We'll have every capability next week and the third week and have to come back the first week again. Oh, and of course we can now, if you have Aegir Scepter, you can now, as we expected, but you can now shoot through those rocks.
Shoot through the immune rocks.
Yeah. I guess we're freezing them and they're exploding, or we're stasising them.
Mostly does diddly squat.
Yeah.
In fact, I think half of them aren't even mysteries. It's just a
They
chest.
were pretty lame.
But I'm thinking because they definitely the two. If I'm not mistaken, I believe both of the Ascendant mysteries involved breaking the rocks, though, in some way. I'm pretty kind of certain. Not entirely, though.
I don't remember,
so-
but yeah, it doesn't matter. The coolest part was getting the actual weapon, breaking the rock, and the battle in that room to use the weapon. I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah,
the
for sure.
Quest. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like that entire I love how in the Aegir Scepter quest line itself, we have Mara telling us that the shield around the scepter has been tripped, so we'll have to unlock it, and we need these codes from like several terminals stretched all across the Dreaming City to be combined into one seal. And in my head, I'm going, oh god, massive fetch quest. And then her next line is just a simple, yeah, but I'll take care of that. You go make sure like Septhun or Zebu Wrath doesn't get a foothold on my property. Like, oh. All right.
Which was still slightly grindy, but not one of the worst quests we've had. That's for sure.
I'd almost rather grind to shoot stuff than look for itty bitty terminals, God knows where.
Oh man, I kind of prefer the looking for stuff, but not if it's too many. But Sin is still grinding away at it. Do you have any live update on that yet, Sin?
Yes, actually.
Because you have to get what 20. One of the longer steps is you have to get 20 champion kills. Well, you have to get a shot on them. You don't have to get the final
that
shot.
one is done. I finished that a little while ago now. Now it's the one with the strikes where you have to do the strikes on the
that's
3 different
easy.
destinations.
That
I'm
goes
on my
quick.
third one.
Because okay,
that's
I thought
easy.
I've run through Lake of Shadows fast before. I don't think we run through it faster than I ever have when I did it the other day.
Good old particle deconstruction.
Well, it's not just that. Somebody that I was playing with literally ran ahead of me and the other guy, and I was trying to keep up. I don't think this dude cleared a single ad and
No, I
made it
didn't.
to the boss room and
I wasn't
pulled the
either,
rest of
yeah.
us. Like
We were going
he
fast, and
sped run through that. And I was trying to go
There's-
through it, but I had to clear ads to try to keep up.
There's very few enemies that are actually necessary to kill
yeah,
to proceed in Lake of Shadows.
the blights
Good thing
and then
if-
that one by the one door, right? And then
Exactly. Because, in that big bridge area, even though
there's
there's
one more at that back
Yeah,
door. Yeah,
there's like a crap ton of ads everywhere, like once you hit the outside of the dam. But you only have to kill the one dude.
Yeah.
You kill that one dude, you can open the door, you're off to the next area. Welcome to strike speedrunning.
Right?
Gator would have loved it so much.
Oh, yes.
I had fun. I just wanted to get done with it, and we were all on the
Right.
same page, so we were having a blast just speed running through it.
Indeed.
That's
I
why
was
you
a
want to do these
little-
quests right away. Also, I mean, Sen, because if you can, I mean, I understand getting busy, but when you do it the day of, usually people are doing the same things that you're trying to do, so you're more likely to get it done easier.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I normally would have been playing, but I've been focusing a little more on work, trying to get some of my work stuff done
That's not bad.
throughout the day. So, yeah, I was adulting.
And I was a little confused at Aegir Scepter once I got it.
Uh-huh.
Because, as I've said, as people know, I was informed of the leaks. The leaks said that was going to be a heavy trace rifle.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
It's-
didn't see or remember that.
It's not a heavy,
No.
as people know. It is a normal special ammo trace rifle that is in the kinetic slug because it is stasis.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, its catalyst function is the exact same function that was leaked. So I mean, functionality, it's still the same weapon. It's just not a heavy.
Yeah, not a heavy.
So again, this is why though you don't. I did want to bring that up because again, whether you know the leaks or not, I mean, the leaks potentially came from a year ahead of development. Things can change.
Oh yeah. And things should change because
Exactly. I mean,
yeah.
yeah, because it went from being a heavy to a regular special ammo trace rifle. Who knows? The original plan could have been to have a heavy ammo trace rifle. But then they're like, you know what? Let's not do that.
Yeah. Let's not.
So regardless of what, this is what we get. And again, this is why you don't put everything into a leak. Because even if it's true, as I've said before, it might not be true once it comes out.
Yeah. And one more reason too why I don't mind seeing the leaks, because it's intriguing to me to see how it all plays out time-wise and also what can change. That's interesting too, because then you have those conversations in your mind like, oh, they probably changed this because of this, or you can speculate, oh, well, maybe the person didn't have a good leak. So there's so many meta conversations you can have with it, but it's still interesting to me. When we see these little things that are slightly different.
I'm not even that far in any of all this, so I will be soon with Aegir Scepter, and then Kingsley's going to help me with the Shattered Realm stuff later.
Oh, am I going to hold your hand?
Absolutely.
Well, we were skipping down the rocks holding hands together.
You and me. and me and you.
Okay, so the week, gosh, what did Savathun even talk to us about this week? I felt like it was a little bit shorter of a conversation. I feel bad. I don't remember.
You know what? I don't remember. Because I
Yeah.
was doing the acre stuff, like knowing that shout out to Helios for showing off his acre scepter early, which definitely confirmed it's in. So I started doing that before even doing like the normal stuff. Like I saw that you needed to do an alignment, and it's like, nope, I'm just doing acres. And sure enough, I had to run it. I had to run it all 6 times to finish out the acre stuff. But I did the acre stuff first. And then I did that, and then I don't think I actually cared what Savas was talking about at that point in time because I don't remember now.
Well, what was more interesting, and I don't remember all the details, but there's a lot more fighting going on again. Well, tense conversations. The radio thing next to the seasonal.
Yes.
Who was talking and fighting against each other this week? It was
Ikora and Marasov.
Yeah. So
having nice little arguments, basically bringing up old wounds of revenge and because she's kind of miffed that she still has lost her brother. Ikora's still miffed because her old brother killed Cade. Everyone's miffed because everyone still feels loss and grief, and nothing of it is resolved. So, yeah, I remember that. Which also, because the episode of Guardian Downcast had Laz, which I think I ended up being mentioned like 20 times in that episode because of my lore conversations with people.
Check them out.
Yeah, it's a great episode. Because again, they were talking about like a lot of our current like lore topics. So if you're ever curious about what we talk about in the lore channels without wanting to actually dive deep and read a bunch, listen to that episode. Crap, now why did I mention that?
Well, I mean, and of course, that radio message is what you need to listen to open up the lore page 2 each week.
Yes, the ripples. That's how you unlock the ripples, because I thought it was tied to the level of the season thing, but no, it is tied to the radio messages you receive. So listen to Ikora and Marasov arguing, which is an epic argument, let me tell you what. Ooh. That was such fun to listen to. Because they were both being like super passive aggressive and like super twisty with their words and stuff. Oh, it was so good.
Twisty words. No, but yeah, it was good. Yeah, so we have 4 out of 8. It's a shorter lore page this week, so
but it's so good.
But good, of course. Yes. Yeah.
Like I'm super invested in this Ripples book, which I think is our only lore book this season.
Well, there's a question mark one next to it, so maybe.
Oh yeah, that's right. Maybe later, or maybe when we get the data caches.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't know for certain because
I know,
as Laz mentioned, like they're classifying them. But I did find a source that ripped the lore pages, kind of ripped, but they were able to find like the complete lore pages. So once again, I've read all this lore book and but yeah, it's very good. It's very nice.
Nice.
But yeah, like I said, they're all good, like really good entries because they're really telling us a lot of what's going on.
I have to admit, I haven't read them. I think I read maybe one, but I should
always go back. They're there.
I know. I should.
I always, try to tell myself this, but this season I've actually done it. But kind of there's different ways you can play the game, right? And I'm a little more invested this season again than I was last season. I think I'll be getting more into Grandmasters again. I mean, it's a long season. There's so many reasons to kind of like. I'm more invested in doing builds this season because we're going to have them longer, unless something changes and they flip the script on us. But I'll do the seasonal stuff on Tuesday. When I'm done with that, I'm actually really invested in getting the weekly seasonal things done. I mean, I haven't done Showdown this week, but I'm sure I'll do it soon. You know, rating comes up here and there, but then once I've gone all the things that I can for the week, it's like, well, there's no reason to not go in and actually. I mean, I skim over the lore when I first collect it, but I don't really read it, and then I'll go back when I'm kind of like almost done with everything for the week because I'm like, okay, I might as well now. I was meant to do this, but I might as well now actually read it a little more detailed. No excuse not to if I have nothing else big to do in the game. And then we're coming up on the weekend, and then the weekend is like party time, trials and raids and everything like that.
Can't wait to hit Legendary Reset for the first time in Trials.
But yeah, Sin, as you mentioned, we at the very beginning of the show, we also have, I mean, by the time you hear this, I'm sure it'll be over with, but we have our raid competition that Elmer Fudd is putting on. And I'm still not sure how many groups are going to join, anywhere between 2 to 3-ish to hopefully more like 5 or 6, but that will be this upcoming Saturday, and it's we'll see how we do. We got good crew of people that know Garden really well because they knew that was the wild card.
Yeah.
Because when he threw in Garden too, I'm like, ooh, a lot of people may not want to join the tournament or join and then not do as well. So I kind of stacked a team. I can mention the names now because we don't need to keep it secret anymore. But we'll see how we do. Let's hope for the best, everyone. But we got, well, Sin talked his way in. I don't know how he did it, but we got Sin. But seriously, I was trying to stack people better than me. You know, that's how you do it, right? So
I need to make this joke real fast, but
yeah.
Sin gets in. I wasn't invited.
Ugh. Sin wasn't invited either.
I asked. I was like, wait, what are we talking about?
Let's let this settle for a hot minute, okay? Sin gets in, and I wasn't even invited. But that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I asked. That was
Sin
my only saving
pushed
grace.
his way in.
I didn't push.
But,
I said, hey,
and
what are we doing? Are we doing this? Are you setting up a team?
No, you know what, Des? And I've been meaning to ask, like, I need you to play trials with me because, see, this is, you got to find people that are better than you with these things. So, like with the raid, and again, Sin's the wild card there, but everyone else in the raids, like, at my level or better for for these 3 raids. So we have Lumina. I'm not saying, but you know what I mean. Do you have, how much garden experience do you have? It's
oh no, Garden's my weakest one. I'll readily admit Garden's my weakness, like 100%.
I was trying to get Hawks. I mean, he's the garden master, but he wasn't available. So we have Lumina, we have Soccer, we have Sin, we have me, and then we have Yoda, and then who else? Is that 5 or 6? Let me look at the list here again. Jeez. Sin, help me out here.
Oh, let me look. Hold on. I just got Ager's Scepter. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's see. Raid tournament.
Zebrak.
We have me.
Zebrak.
Yep.
Zebrak, yeah.
You, Fiery, Soccer, Lumina, Zebrak. Yep, you got it.
So, and I'm like, you know, my personality is like very on the like realistic / getting close to pessimistic side, but I'm like, okay, let's see what times we can get. I was really impressed with the times we did on a dry run. We were getting close to 40 minutes for each of the 3 raids. So
yep. Yeah, we definitely finished in time.
Yeah.
And you said you didn't want me on there because I wasn't good. Hater.
No, I didn't say that. I said I wanted people better than me.
So that means I am either the same level as you, is what you're saying, or worse.
Sounds about right.
He's not going to win this one.
I can admit you're same level or better than me, Sin, but I wanted people that, in my mind, were like the masters for these rates. So I was just trying to stack the team.
Yeah, legitimately though, that's like a fantastic, like just all around team.
It is, and
Yeah,
we did
'cause I
really
mean-
well with each other. We
Yeah.
kind of in our dry run. It's really interesting doing these speed run strats because I never really had the desire to do this before, but we did the whole thing where it's like, okay, let's plan our loadouts ahead of time. I did a whole spreadsheet. We all picked our spots ahead of time and everything. And there's still some fine tuning we had to do as we went along, but it's so interesting going into it, like getting the flag and starting immediately for every encounter.
Yeah. Like, I mean, because, like I said, it was a joke, but I could definitely argue my strengths in Deepstone and
Yeah.
Vault. I can argue those strengths because I've ran Deepstone so much. I still know Vault very well. But yeah, Garden, like I said, I'll be the first to admit, for a competitive team, I wouldn't be my first choice for Garden. Let's say that.
And Sin actually does okay at Garden. He could even.
No, yeah, he does. Legitimately.
Sin stays
Not too
alive during
shabby.
Garden. I'm impressed. He's at least at my level, if not better. So.
Which, I mean,
So
to be
Sin, now
fair,
I'm saying it that way.
yeah, we pick, and I will clear this too. We pick fun at Sin a lot during
But-
raids. He
but-
legitimately doesn't die that often.
Yeah. We
He
just.
does fairly well,
Yeah, I know.
but you have these cynisms,
Mhm.
such as
You could call
taking
him
10 to 15 minutes to ready a loadout or to get ready for the next encounter. Sometimes putting a
Hey.
bubble directly in front of someone trying to do boss damage. Uh,
But we love it.
yeah, it's
Hey.
nothing awful.
This
I'm like,
loadout, this loadouts that we had to do ahead of time actually worked out pretty well. There was no 15 to 20 minutes getting
I know,
loadouts
I was
ready.
impressed.
It was
I
just
mean-
flipping a few things around. I did have to make a couple adjustments, especially on the first round in Garden, because I was trying to use 1K. That didn't end up too well for me on the first round. So
Oh, that was the cynism. I'm like, Sin, don't try something new for a competition.
right, what works.
Stick with what works.
But on the same token, we are using focusing lens, which is still completely new for this season. And I think
Well,
we are
yeah.
going to be, we're going to be using a stasis, somebody
Which-
using stasis to maximize damage.
Mhm.
Hot tip. I don't know if it's true or not because I haven't tested it, but Aegir has stasis effects.
I know. And even
It slows. And Focusing Lens says a target affected by stasis, which most stasis weapons don't actually affect the target with stasis. But Aegir Scepter, like I said, if you use Aegirs and you have a linear and potentially like a fusion, because some encounters are flexible enough to run a double special. But just saying, as a tip, I mean, it's quite possible that you can actually run all white subclasses, have somebody peg them a few times with Aegers, a la Divinity, and get the bonus.
it's for sure possible. I remember a conversation in the Discord. Someone was saying they weren't impressed with Aegers, but Heels popped in. And you're like, we don't know yet. I mean, when we have stacked teams for Grandmasters or raids, it could actually be really good.
Well, I mean, and not just that, we don't have its catalyst, and its catalyst is the thing I'm most interested in, which apparently the catalyst is in the system. But when it's going to have this mode that lets you drain your super to deal more damage.
Yeah, that is insane.
Yeah, so you're going to set, because I think this is why I believe that it was originally designed as a heavy weapon, because of this effect. Then I think some leaker rumor made mention that they designed Aegers to be like the next damage dealing thing, kind of like Lament and 2 Degree Anarchy and Sleeper before that. So its potential, it could still do a lot, even as a special. I would not be surprised if it could compete with a lot of heavy strategies.
For sure.
But we're not
For
going to be able to
sure.
find that out until Tuesday because Bungie confirmed that it will start dropping from the
Astral alignments.
not the normal chest, but the chest that costs. It will, I guess, have a chance or just drop, like guaranteed first one. Don't know for certain, but yeah, it's going to drop that one. So be sure you have enough parallax trajectory, I think it's called, to
Yes.
open one.
Enough shiz.
Or open
yeah.
any. Yeah, seasonal stuff,
Seasonal shit.
basically.
Yeah, good point. Oh man. Well, yeah. So hopefully, again, by the time you hear this, we'll be, past another week of trials. We'll see how that goes, and then past the raid tournament, and hopefully we don't plub it out too much. But we're excited for that, and we're excited for more potential raid tournaments down the road. Maybe Gator will finally get his PvP tournament going. There's a lot of fun we can have with this extended season. Just getting group ups going in the game. So Gator, get on that.
I totally probably shouldn't have done this last phase of the anchor quest right now
Why?
because it's a cutscene.
Oh, yeah, that's where I was telling you to be
Oh,
quiet
yeah.
last time, Sven. So do we have to be quiet?
Everyone
Chirp, chirp,
pause as
Everyone No, everyone pretend you're paused and we'll be quiet.
Right?
Oh, man.
These cutscenes are, though, they're pretty awesome.
Well, that reminds me one kind of other thing, last thing I want to say here about this quest. This I felt like was a really well done quest. I don't want something that's too short. I don't want something that's super grindy. I felt it was a little slightly annoying in the middle, but overall great. I loved how there was kind of weekly time gated things for a few weeks, and then we just had like a grind quest. But then having the activity, the battle at the end, along with an animated cutscene, really makes me feel more invested in this weapon. Like there's a whole, and I know other exotic weapons have sometimes done this, but for this one, I don't know. What I'm trying to say, something was done so perfectly about this. I really feel invested and like I'm going to remember this quest, remember this weapon. So.
Yeah.
And who knows if it becomes the next damage thing to use? We'll definitely remember
Well,
it.
you definitely remember it, yeah.
But yeah, it's that, and its design is very nice as well. Like it looks very different from most things we get. So
Yeah, I forgot there was that animated cutscene.
yeah,
I
that
think it's
tells the
almost
tale
of Riga and
Agar.
Agar.
Yeah.
Rhaegar and Agar, which hilariously are mirrored names. They're backwards from one another. Get it?
That's
Because they're twins.
interesting.
Get it?
And I do like the fact that they're equated to birds because, again, crow has kind of always been associated with birds.
Mm-hmm.
So very interesting because, I mean, the entire story of Agar and Rhaegar are kind of like this parable or analogy for the relationship between Mara and Uldren. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of felt it was kind of touching or dramatic when you seen the bird falling.
Yeah, which again, like Mylan has a great video breaking down like kind of the meaning and purpose, or I guess the symbology of that cutscene into events of like Mara and Uldren, like the storm coming, which when you see the cutscene, it's actually in the shape of the dreadnought, like this cloud.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Agar falls, it's highly symbolic of when he got shot down. I mean, they devoted an entire section of that Taken King cutscene to Uldren just like crash, his ship just like crashing essentially. So yeah, it's very cool to see those moments, kind of, I guess, kind of nostalgic or something,
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I know where that's from, and like I said, the kind of subliminalness of the shapes and everything working into it as well. It's just very nicely done cutscene and like story and just everything.
Does it seem like too obvious and makes sense that if they do content vault any of the planets, it'll be, well, any of the areas, it'll be the Dreaming City, at least one of the areas?
I mean, it's potential because they definitely seem to be. Because I mean, if we do actually deal with Savathun, she is kind of the thing that makes the curse go.
Mm-hmm. And we're focusing on Dreaming City areas more this season.
Right?
Almost like the last hurrah.
And they keep mentioning the curse, and like they're mentioning things about it. So, we haven't had this kind of attention set on an area. And the last time we did have attention set on areas was in Arrivals, which that's when they got vaulted.
Yeah,
so
it would make sense.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I would find it weird that they would vault Dreaming City and not the Tangled Shore.
Mm-hmm.
I would find that weird if that happened. Like, who knows? Maybe they vault them both. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't work at Punchy. And if I did, I wouldn't be able to say anyway.
Yeah. All right. Well, we better start wrapping it up. But let me look here and see. Did you get everything in your notes? I think you did, Des. It's kind of cool. We're keeping better notes on certain things we want to talk about.
I know.
Sorry, I cut out a lot tonight.
I need to utilize our chat more like this, because I definitely felt better going in, like knowing, hey, I'm not going to forget about these trial stories I have.
Yeah, definitely.
Then it's just shocking that I have trial stories, other than, I did it. Moving on.
Well, we will go so that we can get back in the game or get back to life or whatever we're doing. But
I'm still in game, so it don't matter to me.
Well, sleep. Yep, sleep is definitely a good option right now. But let's do that. But boy, great week again to talk about the great state of Destiny, and we talk about it all the time, of course. But things are really fun right now.
Indeed,
absolutely.
All right. Let's start with Sin. Sin, where can the people find you, good sir?
They can find me with Agar Scepter in hand or on Twitter at Sin_media. DesRaven. Where can they find you?
They can find, obviously, the home of the Festus Index at on Twitter at DS_Raven. Agar Scepter is not in there yet because, again, I haven't looked. But it's probably still not visible in the API because we just got it, and they normally don't declassify things for a week or two after. So it'll pop in the coming weeks. Otherwise, it's still 99% complete, so that's good.
It's definitely worth checking out.
You can find me creeping across a variety of Discords, including ours, Guardian Down, Potato Thumbs, Guardian Ghost Cast, whether we want it or not, JSG, Shadow Guard, Spooky Mansion. There's a bunch. I have a bunch of Discords, but yeah, Kingsley.
Yes, thanks. I know. Before we go on for another hour of all the Discords, right?
Right.
You can find me as KingsleyMac. Yeah, I'm in many Discords too, but the list is too long. So just find me as KingsleyMac pretty much anywhere except for on Twitter. I am MC Kingsley. But our show is very easy. It's the same everywhere. You can find us on Twitter as The Guardian Hub, or you can find us through our lovely website, Sorry, I sounded weird there. TheGuardianHub.com.
The best hub on the net.
Confirmed by Elmer Fudd.
Confirmed.
See, Sin, we got to have a soundboard, and then you can just play something there.
Right. Can we get one of those, like, you know how like Twitter and all these sites have those like check marks? We need one of those verified. We can be the best hub on the net, verified.
Verified, yep. I think Twitter, you got to have like 1 billion followers before they certify you, but whatever. It's a good idea in theory. All right, everyone. Thanks again for tuning in this week. We really appreciate it. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Feel free and send us a review over on the podcast catchers. We very much would appreciate it, and we will catch you again next week. Have a good one.
Bye.
Later.